whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
With me right now, Rod Woodruff, the owner and founder of the Buffalo Chip. So, Rod, tell me a little bit about why you started this event and what it really means to you.
Well, we started it just as a tribute to the veterans that weren't that popular back 30-some years ago, frankly. And then as they got a little traction doing it year after year, we started putting up flags. And then what happened in 2003, we went to Iraq, and then we decided we'd put up a flag for every American troop that had been lost. And then next year, we had a lot more flags, and next year we had a lot more flags. And, you know, we aren't going to pass up the opportunity to pay tribute to the people that really lost their lives in service to this country. When you see these flags coming up, I don't think there's anything that can warm our hearts any more than seeing all these flags. But we're going to put up 808 of them. I swear they're in perfect formation, and it just makes us all feel like, God, we really did something, right? But it's in memory of all the troops that we've lost in the American conflicts. Really, it doesn't happen without you guys caring enough to come out and put them up. Thank you.
The Buffalo Chip does such a great tribute to our veterans and those that have served it. I just love being a part of it. I have a few that I always remember from Afghanistan when I was there, and then I have uncles and aunts, and my father served in World War II, and it's easy to come out and pay tribute to, again, to everybody that's fought for our freedoms. How can that not be exciting?
Ma'am, thank you. Just a beautiful sight. My window here from the office, I get to look out every day and see these flags out here, and it just helps remind you that everybody has to have a purpose or should have a purpose in life, and sometimes it can be something really simple like putting up a freedom field.
Rod, go ahead and place the last flag.
Yes.
Flags. You can hear them flowing in the wind. Flags. What does it mean? Tonight, I'm going to go with fallen legions advancing glorious service. When you plant one of these flags, there is someone that you are remembering. As you plant that flag, the hundreds of thousands of service members that have died fighting for our freedom to be able to plant the flag. Hundreds of thousands, fallen legions, advancing glorious service. Remember, from each and every era we've ever had, we've lost many. And we remember them tonight, and when we walk off this field and stand back and look at the flags furling, we will remember fallen legions advancing glorious service, and thank them all for their dedication and their lives.
Dear Madam, I have been shown in the files of the War Department that you are the mother of 5 sons who have died gloriously on the field of battle. I feel how weak and fruitless must be any words of mine which should attempt to beguile you from the grief of a loss so overwhelming. But I cannot refrain from tendering you the consolation that may be found in the thanks of the Republic they died to save. I pray that our Heavenly Father may assuage you the anguish of your bereavement, and leave you only the cherished memory of the loved and lost, and the solemn pride that must be yours to have laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom. Yours very sincerely and respectfully, Abraham Lincoln.
Stuff. Well, it looks like he's got a shovel head, of course, an old flat side. I call them flat sides. Some people call them slab sides, but I've never heard of that my entire life until about 5 years ago. But he's also got a flathead engine over there. I think it's a big twin 80, so let's go take a look. I'm thinking if you're restoring an older bike, this is the guy you need to talk to. If he doesn't have the parts you're looking for on the tables, I'm sure he knows where to get them, because he's got all the old stuff here. The oil pumps and the carburetors. You know, these are like liquid gold. I mean, these are cast iron. You see it? These are cast iron. You can rebuild them. They never really wear out. They might break or go bad if a gear messes up. The same thing with the carburetors. These things are. This body's probably at least $100 just for this piece. By the time you got it rebuilt with all the other parts and pieces, it probably worth $750. He's got all the early 45 parts. He's got everything he's got out here is a treasure, you know. So if you're trying to restore a bike and you want to be specific to the year, this guy's got the parts you need. If you ask him for the specific parts, I'm sure if you don't have them here, he'll bring them to you at the next event. Well, see, there's 2 different styles here now. You got to see the difference here, where it's smooth, and this one's got an extra ridge on it. So the extra ridge has got the oiler built in there, so it's an adjustable oiler. So these are 2 different. I think one's an early panhead and one's late panhead. Hey, partner, you got a second?
Yeah.
What's the difference in the oil pumps?
This is an earlier panhead pump, and that's a later panhead pump. You can tell it by the rib right there.
With the boss?
I don't know what you got here. I didn't look at it. Yeah, this is a real early one.
That's an early pan.
It's a late knucklehead and an early pan.
Okay.
They're almost the same. The width of the gears change a little bit.
Right. And what would this piece be worth?
Oh, that's like $100.
Isn't that what you said? I'm pretty close today, pretty accurate, you know, because I know what this stuff's worth too, and I wouldn't give it away for less than 100. Want to get it? I want to see some transmission.
Come on. Look at the hard parts.
I want to see if there's a reverse gear in there. Well, here's the gold mine in that pile.
Yep.
That's the idler gear for a reverse transmission. And I just said, let's see if we can find one, but that's it. Look at that little jewel.
Probably one out of
How many?
How many that
All
would
of them.
actually know that? Many
It's a
people that
reverse
would know.
gear. There's the stud, and the reverse gear goes inside the transmission.
Yeah.
And then when you go to hit reverse, the gear comes all the way over and engages this, making the transmission gears turn the opposite direction. What would something like that cost today? We know,
$20 bill.
we know what it is. Now see, that's a hell of a deal right there. $20. Well, cylinders, the problem with cylinders, you have to measure them to see what size they are, because if they got rust in them or something like that, you really won't know. This is a cylinder sleeve. Back in the day, after you bored the cylinder too much, it was overbored, you couldn't get a piston big enough. So what they would do is they would machine the bore out and then press this sleeve. This is a cast iron sleeve. They would press it into the case, and then it would cool off, and it would lock into position. Then you could go back to a standard bore cylinder. But the best part about it is the sleeve is a much cleaner steel, so the piston's actually slicker going up and down the sleeve than it is the cast iron.
A lot of people don't know what them things are. They say, what the hell was that?
Well, we got a lower end that's still together, but it's a twin cam engine. It's in pieces, so this is a good opportunity for people to see what the engine looks like that have never seen one apart. Of course, you got your cylinders missing, and then you got your head sitting on top of it. But this is what the twin cam engine looks like when it's apart and in pieces. And it usually gets stripped down this far when they hop them up for you at the Harley shop, but never past that. They'd hardly ever change out the stroke. So this is a chance to see what they look like. These are the 95 cubic inch cylinders and pistons, and you can go oversized on this. But the two rods hanging out there, you got your cam gear and your drive gear. Now this motor's fuel injected, no doubt about it. The cylinders, of course, are missing, but the heads would sit on top of it. There's the head. The head would sit on top of it just like that. And that's what your twin cam engine looks like when it's all in one piece. So now you know what the insides look like. An engine like this right here is probably about $1,000 with all the parts and pieces. It would probably take another $800 in parts, and then probably $1,200 in labor to put it all back together as a fresh motor again. What you want for this?
I'd like to get 8, but I'm open for a good offer.
Well, what'd I say, 9? Yeah. I just quoted 9.
It's a complete motor.
Oh, you got the rest of it also.
Yep.
This is the cam cover.
The cam cover.
Yeah, this. Well, see, now everybody will recognize it. There's your cam cover. Okay. Once we slide it in place, there's your twin cam engine now. In case you didn't recognize it earlier. And that's a great deal. $800 for an engine. Like I said, $800 for this engine. The valve job looks like it's okay. I'm not sure about the pistons and cylinders. You'd have to mic them out. But the cam drive, everything else is all in good shape still. So for somebody that's going to the AMI school or something like that wants to start building a bike from pieces, this is an incredible engine to start with.
Born to Ride is brought to you in part by 866 Law Friend. Ride safe, ride smart. Offices in Palm Harbor.
Born to Ride.